Huge news bombshell from NATO. They say that Ukraine should give up their territory to Russia in return for NATO membership. I can imagine what Ukrainians and Zelensky would say to that. A bombshell statement was made during an interview in a Norwegian media. A close associate of the Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, regarding Ukraine's accession to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, as Stian Jensen, who serves as the NATO General Secretary's Chief of Staff, reported in the Verdensgang VG newspaper, Ukraine may have to agree to cede to Russia some of the territory it lost during the war if it wants to join NATO. At the same time, Ukraine must decide for itself when and under what conditions it should negotiate. Verdensgang's article entitled Ukraine Open to Ceding Territory in Return for NATO Membership. Arendal VG, NATO Chief of Staff Stian Jensen, suggests that Ukraine can join NATO in exchange for ceding some territory to Russia, and that this could be the end of the war in the country. According to TASS news agency, when asked by the Norwegian media if he believes that Ukraine should cede its territories in order to achieve peace with Russia and join NATO in the future, Stian Jensen said that the post-war regime of Ukraine is already under negotiation and the issue of ceding territory to Russia has already been raised. He explained, I'm not saying this should happen, but this might be a possible solution. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Galuzin earlier told TASS that resolving the conflict requires recognizing the new territorial realities, ensuring the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine, the rights of Russian-speaking citizens and its national minorities in accordance with international law. Kiev's angry response to the concession of territory to Russia for NATO membership. In a long post on Twitter, Volodymyr Zelensky's advisor, Mikhailo Podolyak, speaks of a ridiculous proposal, quote-unquote, and a deliberate choice to defeat democracy. Second VG article on Kiev's angry response and headline, Ukraine reacts totally unacceptable to cede territory. Arendal VG, totally unacceptable. This is the reaction from Kiev to the statement of the NATO Chief of Staff, Stian Jensen, who opened a discussion on the cessation of territories from Ukraine to Russia in exchange for NATO membership. In detail, what he wrote was this: territories exchange under the umbrella of NATO. It's ridiculous. This means deliberately choosing to defeat democracy, encouraging a global criminal, preserving the Russian regime, destroying international law, and passing the war on to other generations. Besides, why would Russia voluntarily abandon provocations, hybrids, and traditional behavior without losing? Obviously, unless Putin suffers a crushing defeat, the political regime in Russia will not change and the war criminals will not be punished. War will surely return with Russia's appetite for more. Attempts to maintain world order and establish a bad peace, quote-unquote, through, let's be honest, the triumph of Putin will not bring peace to the world, but will also bring dishonor and war. This applies to any form of new division of Europe, including the NATO umbrella. Then why is the scenario of the freeze, which Russia so desires, proposed instead of the acceleration of army supplies? These types of things must not be encouraged with appalling leniency. The source is TASS and Verdensgang, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.